Hey you guys, what's up? I am so excited about today's video. I'm going to be trying out the brand new ColourPop and Lizzie McGuire collection. So I'm going to be showing you guys close-ups and swatches of everything that comes in the collection, telling you guys all of the prices. I'm going to be showing you guys a demo of everything on the face. I'm going to be doing two different eye looks as you guys can see. So I hope you guys are all excited about today's video. If you are, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So first up, I'm going to show you guys close-ups of everything in the collection and show you guys swatches and tell you all of the prices. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So first up in the collection, we have the What Dreams Are Made Of eyeshadow palette. This is a 12 pan eyeshadow palette and the price is $22. And here are the stunning shades in this palette. Honestly, this palette is so much prettier in real life than it looks from like the online photos, because when I first saw it, I was like not super into it, but when I got this in the mail, I thought it was stunning. This palette has so many gorgeous shades in it. So let's go ahead and start these swatches. First up, we have the shade Bye Bye. This is a beautiful like champagne gold shade. Next, we have the shade Please. This one is like a pressed glitter. Done and Done. Outfit Rememberer. I love this shade. Such a pretty shade. Dear Diary. That one is also stunning. Audi. Next is the shade Ugh. I'm not really sure how to say that one. It's more of like a sound effect. Hello Fabulous. That one is also gorgeous. Don't Freak. That one was a little bit lighter than I was expecting it to be when I swatched it, so I'm going to add a second layer. Yeah, that's definitely a shade you're going to have to build up. So Mature. This one is a matte with glitter in it. Outfit Repeater. That one was a little patchy. And Digital Bean. Ooh, that one has great pigmentation. So here are all of the shades from the eyeshadow palette. Next up in the collection, we have two blush shades, and these are each $12. First up, we have the shade called Delish, and this one is a really pretty light pink. These blush shades do have glitter in them. Here's a close-up so you guys can really see the glitter in there. And then here is that shade swatch. This one is a very light, kind of like bubblegum pink. Then we have the shade called You Are Magnificent. And this one is a darker pink. This one also has glitter in it. And then there is that shade swatched. Then we have two Glitterly Obsessed, which are just like glitters that are in like a cream form. And these are $10 each. So first up we have the shade called Sing to Me Paolo. This one is such a pretty shade. So there's that shade. Honestly, it looks like a disco ball. Then we have the shade called Get a Grip, and this one is like a hot pink. So there are both of the glitters. Then we have two lip gloss sets. These are each $18. First up, we have the Lizzie and Miranda set. This clear gloss is the Lizzie shade. This is just a clear gloss with like gold glitter in it. Then we have the pink shade, which is Miranda. This one is just like a light pink with gold glitter in it. Then we have the Ethan Craft and Gordo set. This first shade is the Ethan Craft shade. This one is more of like a peachy pink. And then this shade is Gordo. So there are all four of the lip gloss shades. And the last thing we have in this collection is a lip scrub, and the price of this is $9. This is the Bubblegum Pop Lip Scrub. So now that you guys have seen everything in this collection, let's go ahead and start like the demo where I show you guys everything on the face, and we're also going to be creating these two eye looks. So I went ahead and did my foundation, concealer, and all of that. First up, we're going to try out both of the blush shades. So I'm going to do one blush on each side of my face so you guys can see both of the shades. So first we're going to try the lighter shade called Delish, and I'm going to apply it on this side of my face. Wow, this is a very pink shade. So I actually kind of like that there's glitter in it, Normally I like a matte blush, but it is kind of giving my skin like a nice glow, so I'm pleasantly surprised with that. And the shade is actually showing up a lot better than I thought it would because it is a pretty light shade, so I was expecting it to be, I don't know, a little bit more sheer, but it's definitely pretty pigmented. All right, so here is the shade called Delish. Next we have the shade called You Are Magnifico, and this one is the darker shade, which is a little bit more of like a peachy pink. Oh boy. This one is definitely pigmented. Oh my gosh, I definitely applied way too much. We need to try and blend this out because that is like very, very pigmented. All right, so here is this shade, very pigmented. Both of these had a lot of pigmentation. So if you don't like a very pigmented blush, you might wanna go in with these light-handed, not like I just did. So now we're gonna move on to the eyes. So of course I'm gonna prime my lids with my P. Louise base. I literally do this in every single video. So I am going to be doing 2 different looks with the eyeshadow palette. So I'm not really sure what kind of looks I want to do, but I'm going to try and use as many of these shades as possible. So the first shade I'm going to pick up is this kind of like light matte pink. And I'm just going to start by kind of tapping this in the crease. And then I'm going to start kind of blending back and forth with like windshield wiper motions and swirling motions. Now I'm going to pick up the shade Done and Done, and I'm just going to put this a little bit lower into the crease. Now I'm going to take this shade right here called Outfit Repeater, and I'm just going to kind of tap this on the outer corner to deepen this up, and then I'm also going to blend it a little bit tighter into the crease. So I went ahead and kind of did like a messy cut crease off camera. It doesn't need to be perfect. It is looking a little bit crazy right now, but we'll kind of blend it out after we add the lid shades. So first I'm going to take this champagne shade over here, and I'm going to kind of pop this like right in the inner part of my lid. Like I really want to keep it pretty close in. Then I'm going to pick up this shade right here, and I'm going to kind of start on the outer part of my lid. And then I'm going to kind of blend these 2 shades together right here. And I'm going to add some of this pressed glitter to the lid. I'm just going to kind of like tap it all over the lid. I'm not going to go like completely towards this inner part because this is a similar shade to like the other shimmery shade that I put down, so I'm going to kind of keep the glitter over here. So now I'm going to go ahead and off camera blend the same shades that I did in my crease along my lower lash line, and then I'll be right back. So I went ahead and added mascara as well. Now I'm going to take one of the Glitterly Obsess, and this one is like the beautiful kind of like white shade with a bunch of different color glitters in it, and I really just want to, hopefully this doesn't mess up this look, I really just want to kind of tap this like on my inner corner because this is such a pretty shade. Ooh, how fun is that? I love this glitter shade. All right, so the first eye look is now complete. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start on the other eye, and I'm gonna use all of the other shades that I didn't use on this eye. So for this eye, I did use 6 shades. Now I'm gonna use the last 6 shades on my other eye. So first I'm gonna pick up the shade called So Mature, and I'm gonna first start out by kind of tapping it in the crease, just like I did on the other eye with my first shade. And then I'm gonna start blending it out with like swirling and windshield wiper motions to kind of diffuse the shade outward. I am going to use this shade again just because I feel like I need it to kind of blend these 2 shades together because I'm about to use the purple one as well. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that shade and kind of just blend this throughout my crease just so the next shade blends nicely with the first shade that I put down. So now I'm going to pick up the shade called Digital Bean, and I'm going to first start by kind of tapping this over here on my outer corner, and then I'm going to start blending it outwards and into the crease. So I went ahead and cut my crease off camera. Now I'm going to take this light purple shade right here, and I'm going to put this on like the inner half of my lid. And then I'm going to take the shade called Hello Fabulous, and I'm going to apply this to the rest of the lid. Now I'm going to take the shade called Don't Freak, and I'm going to blend this all along my lower lash line. And I'm going to pick up the shade called Dear Diary, and I'm going to pop this right here in the inner corner. So here is eye number 2 complete. I'm so happy with how both eyes turned out. Now the last thing that we need to do is try out all 4 of the plumping lip gloss shades. So I'm gonna go ahead and do lip swatches of all of these. So first up, we have the clear shade called Lizzie. These smell like bubblegum. They kind of smell like kids, like toothpaste or like fluoride. Like, I don't know, this isn't like my favorite kind of smell. I feel like it just reminds me of the dentist. So here is the clear shade called Lizzie. It is a pretty thick lip gloss. If you guys have watched like my ColourPop reviews in the past, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of the ColourPop lip gloss because it does that. Your lips kind of like stick together when you're talking and you get like these little white things on your lips and I feel like it just looks gross. I always have that problem with the ColourPop lip glosses, but anyways, here is the shade called Lizzie. Next we have the shade Miranda. So here is the shade Miranda. It's very similar to the shade Lizzie. It's just a little bit darker because it has like a pink base, but the glitter shade is very similar to the one in the shade Lizzie. Next we have the Ethan Craft shade. So here is this shade. I think this one is probably my favorite. I feel like it looks the most natural on the lips. I feel like this one's a little bit less glittery than the other one. So yeah, this one's definitely my favorite out of all 4. And lastly, we have the kind of purpley shade called Gordo. So here is this shade. This one is also really pretty. This one's probably like my second favorite shade. I really like the way that this one looks on the lips. So yeah, those are all 4 of the lip gloss shades. So yeah, that is everything that comes in the ColourPop and Lizzie McGuire collection. Honestly, if I were to recommend one thing out of this collection, it would definitely be the eyeshadow palette. I feel like if you have a bunch of other ColourPop collections, you don't really need like the blushes or the lip glosses or really the Glitterly Obsessed because these are kind of similar to some other shades that they already have. The eyeshadow palette is definitely my favorite. As I said, I feel like this is a very versatile palette. You can create so many different looks with this palette. I love the purples. I love the greens. I was really impressed with the palette. I wasn't expecting to like this as much as I did based on the pictures that I saw online, but after trying it out, I really like this a lot. I feel like this is going to be one of my favorite ColourPop palettes now, honestly, because of the color story. Like, I can think of so many different looks I want to do with this for Instagram. So yeah, I'm really liking the palette. And then the blushes are also really good. They just aren't really anything like special. They're just like your typical kind of like pink blushes. They are pretty with the glitter in them. They do look kind of glowy on the cheeks. They are very pigmented, so you do have to be careful with these and go in a little bit light-handed. And then you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of the ColourPop lip glosses, so I personally would pass on these. You can probably see it sticking together in the center of my lips. I'm not a fan of this formula, but these shades are pretty. And then I do actually like the Glitterly Obsessed. I love the one that's in the inner corner. These can be a pain to take off, but they do really add something special to like any kind of look, so I do like these. And then obviously I didn't try out the lip scrub yet, but I thought this was kind of cute to include in this type of collection. So yeah, overall I really like the collection. I'm not like blown away with everything. Really the only thing that I really love is the eyeshadow palette. I think this is an amazing eyeshadow palette, and if you loved Lizzie McGuire, then you definitely should try and get your hands on this. This is going to be launching tomorrow, March 26th. It is going to be launching at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the ColourPop website. I will have everything linked in my description box below once everything is like live on their website. So yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Also, make sure you guys have your notifications turned on. That way you don't miss out on any of my future videos. All you have to do is click the bell next to the subscribe button, and then you'll receive a notification every time I upload a new video. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.